my. Oh my.
Guys, we're talking William Shatner and George Takei. And that brings a smile to my face. I'm sure it does you if you're a Star Trek fan. If you're not, you might even know about the famous feud between Captain Kirk and Mr. Sulu. And it's been going on for years. It will continue to go on, I guess, for years. But I have an idea I want to propose. I want to pitch to them, pitch to you guys, a William Shatner, George Takei debate. A friendly debate. The issues, Star Trek, what have you, and proceeds go to charity, right? All the proceeds go to the needy. They help people, and everybody has fun. What do you think? So the famous feud, the famous Star Trek battle between these two heavyweights, these two icons, because, I was thinking no matter what happens to both these men, and obviously they're well into their 80s and 90s here, whatever roles, whatever projects they do in the future, Star Trek will always be their number one most prominent, right, public project. Captain Kirk and Mr. Sulu. So you've got to make, your peace with that. And they have, and they're not ashamed of it. Quite the contrary. They're always talking about it. And they love the fans. They go to conventions and all, right? But I'm saying that's why this debate is sort of special. Like, look at Tyson and Tyson and Paul, the big fight on Netflix. Now, that was a fight. That was a boxing fight that failed. That was a boxing match that just went, talk about dove under, knocked out. But with a Shatner and Takei, Netflix a debate, moderators, big Star Trek experts. I know Quentin Tarantino is a big fan. He, big Star Trek fan. He was going to make a Star Trek movie, right? He was going to direct it, and it fell through, but they got very close. He could be the moderator. He could be the host. It'd be awesome. Now, I remember, I guess, when it first started, the feud, it was probably late 90s, maybe even before. But they were still doing movies up to, 91 or 92, Undiscovered Country. So then Next Gen Tech took over, the Next Generation crew with Generations and First Contact. And I recall around that time, either mid-late 90s, and I was a big Howard Stern fan. And at the time, they would have, Howard would have William Shatner on. And they would talk, and he would bring up George Takei. And then I guess the crew, Stern's crew started to prank George Takei as, was it Ricardo Montalban? Right. So would call him and pretend he was, they were someone he knew. I think it was good old Montalban Khan. And then subsequently later, George Takei joined the Stern Zoo crew. But this feud has been going on so long, I think it's time to end in a charitable way. Why not? Then there's, of course, the stories about Shatner not inviting, I guess, George Takei to his wedding, but then he says he did. And then George Takei invited William Shatner to his wedding, and I guess Shatner didn't show up. George Takei had a Broadway show, Allegiance, and he invited Shatner, he says, and Shatner never showed up. So, but let's try to pitch this, get out the word. I don't, I know it's probably a very, very big long shot. I'd love to hear it, what you guys think. I'd love to see it happen. What do you think? Hope you're enjoying. Hope you're subscribing. See you soon.